can. That's when you are in Tibet, because even though it is a high altitude area, it is a fact that because of all the plantations here in the park, we say that in Norbulingka, trees, shrubs, or at least grasses, making sure this is the one I was talking about. This was constructed by the 7th Dalai Lama, and this is the original place that I would say the starting place of Norbulingka. Okay, let's see what do you have to say. Jisan saying, hi, good evening. It is afternoon time for me, but I would very much love to know what it is the time for you. For me, it is around 4 in the afternoon, but because we are in Tibet, we are really close to sky, much closer than when we were in Beijing. And you can see the light is pretty shiny, it's pretty bright nowadays, pretty bright here. And the clouds are so close, feel so close to us. So let me know what is the time of your place when you are watching the live stream. Hello to Rajesh, MD, hello to you. Why have you stopped live streaming on YouTube? No, we haven't stopped. We're still live streaming on YouTube. Actually, you can find us on CRI Learn Chinese YouTube, CGTN YouTube, and China Plus Culture YouTube. A lot of different YouTube channels for you to find us. And if you like the live stream, please like and share and comment as much as possible. This is Niuniu, and this is a special series, Railway Trip in Tibetan-style. We are here in Tibet. We've covered a little bit of Lhasa previously. We went to Ningxi to show you what we call the Jiangnan of Tibet, so the southern, the resemblance of the southern part of China here in Tibet. And we showed you the Shangri-La in clouds, we showed you the little Switzerland in Tibet, and now we are back in Lhasa showing you this lovely park, which we call Norbulingka. Actually, in Chinese, we say Norbulingka, or it's also the transliteration of Tibetan language, Norbulingka. The pronunciation Norbu actually means jewel or precious, and Linka is park. So this is actually the jeweled or precious park, Norbulingka. You can kind of understand it as 宝贝园林. 宝贝 would be treasured or precious, and 园林 is park. That's the name of Norbulingka. Literally a precious jeweled park. And here we are standing in the very first palace built here. Hello to St. Jane saying, wow, thank you for that, wow. And Daniel Wang saying, 下午好too. Haven't seen you for a while. Very nice to have you back. And Slim Shun saying, ha ha ha, what, where? Aw, Charles saying, 老师扎西德勒to you too. Very glad you brought it up. Actually, 扎西德勒 is the transliteration of Tibetan language, meaning 吉祥如意 in Chinese. It basically means all the best luck, best wishes to you. You can say 扎西德勒 to basically anyone here in Tibet, and they would understand that you're sending them your best wishes, you're giving them the best of luck and best fortune. You say 扎西德勒. So 扎西德勒 to you too. Woo, it's my first time mixing Tibetan and English. Very interesting. 三子五八 B 五 AC 一虎 saying, nice dress, thank you. I agree, this is a really nice dress, and it's a little bit different from the one I've tried before, because in Tibet, since we talked about Tibet being a really vast area, actually there are different people living in different area in Tibet holding different costumes for the different rituals as well. Since we've already touched upon that, I would like to give you a little bit more information about people's life and culture here in Tibet. That is, for example, even though we have the New Year's holiday, that's basically international now, we would consider the 1st of January as the New Year, yes. But Here in China, of course, we have traditional Chinese Lunar New Year, which is the Spring Festival, 春节 Spring Festival. Remember, that's also something very significant. And here in Tibet, one thing significant would be 藏历新年, Tibetan New Year, Tibetan New Year. Before coming here, I thought Tibetan New Year, just like traditional Chinese New Year or New Year would be one specific day. But actually, because Tibetan, in different areas, different parts of Tibet, there are different calendars. So they would spend their traditional Tibetan New Year in different days as well. For example, in Ningxi, they would spend it in a specific dates, and maybe Ali, it will be a different dates. So I kind of like it. It feels very personal and very special when you get to celebrate your own culture as specific, as different as you want. And no one would say it's not okay. It's all okay, and people in different areas in Tibet can enjoy their version of the traditional Tibetan New Year. Of course, they have different ways to celebrate it, but that is the most grand, most important holiday in their lives. And I think something that's really close, the significance would be very close, is the Shoton holiday, 雪顿节, Shoton holiday. I'm bringing it up because Shoton holiday actually has a lot to do with Norbulingka itself, because people choose to celebrate the Shoton holiday here in Norbulingka a lot. Actually, in Tibetan, sho actually means yogurt. 酸奶, 酸奶, 雪, 酸奶, and dun is a feast. So Dawn is a feast. So Shoton festival actually means the festival for people to have a really nice banquet and enjoy their yogurt. So 雪顿节, 雪顿节, 又叫酸奶节, yogurt festival. See? We're the same here, no matter how different you think we are, how different we dress, how different the languages can be. When it comes to festivals, we would use the significant food, just like some people would call the Mid-Autumn Festival Mooncake Festival in Chinese. So we say 中秋节, 有人会叫它月饼节. In Tibet, it's a little bit close. We have Shoton Festival, 雪顿节, but people also call it 酸奶节 because yogurt is the most significant food in this holiday. And on top of yogurt, people would also come to Norbulingka to appreciate the Tibetan-style opera, Tibetan opera, Zangxi, which is also one of the cultural heritage here in Tibet. It's very special. It tells the story of the history of Tibet, and it is really nice on the eyes. I have to tell you guys, actually, we were planning on showing you the Tibetan-style opera here in Norbulingka. It was the plan, but because of the little research of COVID pandemic that we've talked about in previous episodes of the live streams, people here decided to take things in a cautiously optimistic kind of way. That is, even though we know we are vaccinated, we are keeping our distance from each other because we do not want to gather together. We're being, again, cautiously optimistic. And that's why all the gather together kind of activities of the Shoton festivals this year would be suspended and perhaps cancelled. And after a while, maybe next year, we'll be able to appreciate the beautiful Shoton festival, the celebrations, and all the activities. And one thing worth notice and worth mentioning is that here in this palace, we are actually experiencing a little bit renovate. So the renovation is right now. Actually, since June, they started the renovation, and it is mainly for the gilding of the gold roof. Yes, you're hearing me right. The roofs are actually made of gold. 现在这个房顶呢，都是金子做的。大家可以看一下 ，take a look. I think the decoration architecture is really beautiful with Tibetan style, but you have to admit they also resembles a little bit of the traditional Qing dynasty architecture style as well, especially if we walk a little bit further into that. And for this specific palace, this is actually called Kansong Silom, and this is a place for Dalai Lama. I think the 14th, perhaps, and 13th, as well as the 8th, for the Dalai Lamas to enjoy a little bit of opera show. So that is why right in front of the architecture, you see a little bit of square that is kind of like the stage that they show them the opera, show them the performance. Okay, let's see what are some questions you guys have. Oh, we have Yuanjing, excuse me, Yuanjing Lai saying Niuniu is still working on Saturday. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm here in Tibet. I want to see as much as possible and share as much as possible. That is why I'm still working on this Saturday. And I'm glad to interact with you guys and talk to you, because if you feel like you're enjoying the live stream, I would be more than happy, and it's all worth it. And also, we talked a little bit about the renovation work here in Norbulingka. Actually, in order to build 1 square meter of the roof, it takes around 75 grams of gold. So in total, local government, actually central government in China, would spend around 50 kilograms of gold. That is a very precious metal, and it takes a lot of money. That is why the team responsible for the renovation work here in Norbulingka they would calculate the fluctuating price of gold and only make a purchase when the price is relatively low. I think it's a very interesting concept, and I like that cost-effective mentality. So 节约，勤俭节约真的是我们的传统美德啊。勤俭节约 means to have a cost-effective mentality, and 传统美德 would be the traditional moral we hold, the traditional virtue we have. So yes, something interesting I'd like to share. So do not mind a little bit noise over there. They're trying to make this place more and more beautiful. Actually, ever since the peaceful liberation of Tibet around, well, exactly 70 years ago, central government has moved funds to renovate Norbulingka again and again for several times. That is, of course, not because it's the palace of any specific nobleman or specific elite Lama, but because this is now what we call a people's park, and people are appreciating all the beautiful sceneries and the lovely plantations here. All right, let's see what are some other questions you have. We are showered with nice questions. Thank you so much. We have Smansara asking, 今天没有闭园吗? Not really, because Actually, we have tomorrow would be the day that it started to close. So tomorrow would be the day that people stopped coming in, because there is now a 7-day holiday or 7-day closing period. Because like we said earlier, the Shoton festival lies around this time, but in order to prevent people from getting together and gathering together, in order to prevent people from being exposed to the risks of the pandemic, from tomorrow on, the Norbulingka would experience a little bit of closing. I think the view is really amazing, so how about you enjoy the view a little bit, and I will talk to you a bit later. Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching a special live stream of the series Railway Tripping Tibetan-style. This is Niuniu. Right now I'm in Lhasa. I'm actually in Norbulingka, the most beautiful and the biggest man-made parks here in Lhasa. Actually, here in Tibet. 我们现在在罗布林卡. This used to be the summer palace of the I asked the question of, do you guys know what is the winter palace? Did you get the answer? Winter palace of Dalai Lama. Most of the Dalai Lamas would be the Potala Palace, the Budala Gong. The Potala Palace is actually the winter palace of Dalai Lamas. There they would spend time working on their religious rituals, they would work on some administrative works, and they would also hold hosts in these two places consecutively in different seasons, depending on where they're staying. And right now behind me, you are looking at the palace that is constructed by the 14th Dalai Lama. And it has the name of a new palace, a new place, and we also call it the Miguel Palace, and it means the palace that will never change. People also call it the New Summer Palace. More significant and larger than other palaces here in Norbulingka. The new palace features exquisite mural, and he's exquisite murals of different, well, with the theme of different Tibetan Buddhism deities and also those related to the development of Tibet. If you take a look from the outside, you would see the architecture is already with a little bit features and styles of Qing dynasty. And sad for us is that we cannot really go inside because all the palaces here in Norbulingka are not allowed for people to make a video or to shoot. But from the outside, I can tell you inside there are really modern let's say furnitures inside. The lives of the 14th Dalai Lamas in particular is really luxurious because after all, in a serfdom society, he was one of the biggest owner of slaves, so he would be able to enjoy such exquisite and luxurious lives. I think record has it that he actually transported or imported a car into Lhasa, but back then there were no expressways, there were no highways for people to actually travel in cars, so Dalai Lama only uses the car inside his, let's say, everyday routine routes. And back then, he also imported all the precious and valuable and really high-priced furnitures from India so that he can keep his precious and luxurious lifestyle. And you can see all the all the exhibition here in this palace. If you're interested, please come to Lhasa, to Tibet, and enjoy this interesting garden while learning a little bit of history. Let's see what are some questions and comments you guys have. Daniel Wan saying Tibetan dresses are very beautiful. I agree with you, and I am not the only one wearing Tibetan dresses. Perhaps later I will give you a feast of your eyes so that you can see more people wearing all kinds of beautiful Tibetan dresses. Very interesting. And if you are here, you can also do that as well, because around the center of Lhasa, you get to try on your very own. You can pick the Tibetan dress, Tibetan costume you want, and put them on. Take some pictures. People love you to do that, because for us Chinese people, for us Tibetan people, we appreciate your appreciation towards our culture. And we have Mahbub Alam saying hi, hello to you too. Galam, beautiful, thank you. And love you too, sister. Charles saying, 老师您好，去拉萨了吗？是的，我现在在拉萨。Right now, I am in the city of Lhasa, the provincial capital of Tibet Autonomous Region. Here in Lhasa, we're seeing an average altitude of around 4,000 meters above sea level. Our high altitude sickness is possible, and if you are experiencing a little bit uncomfortness, if you feel like you're in a lack of oxygen, of course you can rent your oxygen bottle. You can find a high-end hotel that offers oxygen outlets. Or you can come to Norbulingka and enjoy the lights here, and that is because people use their own two hands to create their better future. Actually, because of the I'll say unsuitable and non-conducive environment here in Tibet for people to live in, they are going to have to suffer from a high altitude. Not all the plantation or the crops can be grown here. This makes it a little bit of difficult, a little bit problems for Tibetan people. But they managed to, with the help of the central government and local government, lift themselves out of extreme poverty by the end of last year. And if they can do that, you can create your own beautiful lives with your own two hands. And in that sense, I believe if you work a little bit harder, you will be able to find the money to come and enjoy here in Tibet. And see, this is also a traditional, this is the hada. People would present you with the hada as a, let's say, a present representing fortune and good luck. And this is also hanging in the door handle. If you touch it, it's also good luck. So you can do that. Touch the handle. I think it's a little bit dirty because everyone's touching it, but don't worry. And Gato saying, so nice. Wow, you'd like to be sent to Ethiopia? I can go there as long as you guys want me to, and if I ever got the chance to go there, I would let you know, and perhaps we can meet up. We have Ray Sofian saying, you're looking so beautiful. Thank you. Looks very typical Tibetan. Yes, this is actually the 公布风格的藏装啊. Compared to the previous ones we had, it is a little bit cooler, I'd like to say. And management, Ashman, very beautiful. Thank you. I love to China grill and very beautiful. We'll see all these lovely messages. This one is from Thin Lee saying, I am watching in Bhutan. Wow, good speaking. Thank you. Raphael saying hello to you too. Very beautiful. from Sonam and Sinit saying hello from Ireland. My daughter Bob loves you. Oh, Ireland, I've been there for around 2 weeks. I really enjoyed the view there, the people and the goods, everything in Ireland. I loved Ireland. So yes, special thank you and special shout out to you too. Here we are in the city of Lhasa, the provincial capital of Tibet Autonomous Region, and we are in Norbulingka, the biggest man-made park here in Tibet. As you can see, this place is covered with different kind of plantations, trees, and lovely, interesting animals as well. Inside Norbulingka, there was well, actually there is still a zoo. The gate we've just come in with was a gate called 大象门, big elephant gate, 大象门, big elephant gate, because I think it was the 13th Dalai Lama had a particular interest, or the 8th one, had a particular interest in animals. So he raised a lot of major animals, including tigers, elephants, lions in the park. So the park we are walking in right now was the zoo, but now it has been renovated to a place for people to enjoy and to appreciate, and the zoo was moved to the other end of the park. Since we are in Norbulingka, I think it is essential for us to talk a little bit about the culture of 过灵卡. 过灵卡, spend some time in the Linka. 过灵卡. And that is a little bit like spending a very significant and very official kind of picnic there. I was told by local people that once you are about to 过灵卡, you spend your Linka, you would shout out to your friends, let them know your plan. So on a weekend, perhaps up to around 50 of you guys together would gather together. You would cook in the previous days, and you would start making all these major dishes, including, I would say one specific dish would be the beef stewed with potatoes, and together they would be able to prepare the dish for tomorrow's major picnic, and up to around 50 people would come to the Linka, to the park. They would sit on the grass, perhaps buy some pads for them to see, curtains for them to sit on, and they would have a picnic day. That will be a very grand day and very pleasant and socializing event. That is the costume of 过灵卡的习俗. And Kenny saying, Niuniu, through this trip, do you feel you can blend elements? I totally feel that. Norbulingka is blending the elements of traditional Han styles as well as Tibetan styles, and includes a little bit of other styles and other ethnicity. If I do that, I think I can do that as well. We also have Mayma saying hello from Algeria. Very beautiful place. Thank you for that comment. Jack J saying very, very nice. Hello to Muhammad Al Rabia. Hello to Muralidaran. Thank you so much for sharing the live stream. And they're saying, good afternoon, dear. I'm from India. I feel like we're very close now because previously I was in Beijing and I do live streams all the time. But here I am in Tibet, and I think we are geographically, physically much closer to each other. That's something very interesting to share. And Yuan Qinglai saying Bhutan and Nepal have a lot in common with Tibet. Yes, because they're very close to each other, and the major religion would be Buddhism. So I guess there would be something very similar. It's just that when Buddhism was introduced to China, it has been mixed up with a lot of local traditions as well as the local religion of Ben. So that is another religion, but a lot of costumes and rituals were that is why Tibetan Buddhism is a little bit different than other Buddhism in other parts of the world. So kind of different. And very beautiful place, beautiful people. I agree, a lot of beautiful people are here. They are enjoying the last day in the previous, well, in perhaps a month, because tomorrow the park would closed to the public, but after a while they would reopen. I think it's around 7 days they would reopen to the public for them to enjoy, because within this period the Shoton festival, 雪顿节, would be celebrated. Actually, usually Tibetan people actually would have a 7-day holiday because of the Shoton festival. However, in this year, because of the pandemic, this tradition has been, let's say, paused for 1 year, has been stopped for 1 year, since we do not want people to gather together. We do not want them to expose themselves to the risks of the pandemic. So all the gathered together kind of activities were kind of, not open for business anymore, were cancelled, and it is a fact that their holidays are no longer for them this year. But as far as I know, the Tibetan people I talked about told me that as long as it's healthy, it's the right thing to do, we're happy about it. So yes, that's the situation for this year. And Roselle saying hello from Philippines. Salva saying hi, happy to you too. Tama saying hello sister, hi. Honia saying nice clothes of Chinese, yay. Yes, I am wearing traditional Tibetan costume. This is my second try and my second one for this trip. If you'd like to see the previous ones, you can stay with Here I Learn Chinese Facebook page, YouTube channel 英语环球广播, as well as all the platforms on CGTN and China Plus Culture to see that. And if you are watching from Niuniu Chinese, my personal page, it is also okay to dig a little bit up there for the posts and see different things. And Elia saying hello Niuniu, hello to you too. Hello to Hania, and Daeshun saying, do Tibetans celebrate the abolition of serfdom along with the New Year, or are these different celebrations? Actually, they are different celebrations. Their celebration of the abolishment of serfdom, yes, and I would be so happy to share that part of the history with you, because I'm also very interested to know that very important part of Tibetan. And in the future, I would be visiting the museum celebrating the liberation, peaceful liberation of the Tibet autonomous region, as well as the abolition of the serfdom society, serfdom system of the Tibetan society. 所以呢，百万农奴解放是有专门的百万农奴解放日和解放纪念馆. I believe it will be a mind-blowing experience. I cannot wait to share that with you. And Shuk saying hello from Eastern south of Nepal. Hello to you too. MD saying nice, thank you. What about names of that place? This is Norbulingka. Norbulingka in Tibetan actually means treasured or precious parks, and it used to be started from one specific palace constructed by the 7th Dalai Lama. From then on, the 7th, the 8th, the 13th, as well as the 14th have all made major addition and major construction to this area, and that is why we have all these beautiful palaces together. Actually, if you have noticed this, you perhaps have already seen that in each and every palace, there are 3 major components, 3 major parts. The first part would be the palace itself, so the major construction, the major architecture, the palace itself. And then there will always be a space in front of the palace, and that space is usually used for certain functions. For example, the one we saw earlier, the stage of certain shows for the Dalai Lama. And then there will be a little bit like a small forest behind the palace. Those are the 3 different parts of the construction of one palace, of one pojang. That's what we say in Tibetan. Pojang actually means palace. So all these palaces has the name pojang in it. And Giovanni saying, Niuniu looking very beautiful today. Thank you. Roselle from Philippines saying, thank you, while saying hello, hello to you too. And also, 你好,你好 saying, 今天直播罗布林卡很漂亮. I agree, it is very beautiful. I think it's because the weather is really pleasant and people are here enjoying their lives. You can see people walking by me one after another because this is their park. They can come here as much as they want and they 过林卡 as much as they want. So yes, it's something very interesting. And we have Tenzin saying, are you Tibetan? No, I'm not Tibetan, but I am wearing Tibetan costume because here, if you're here in Tibet and if you'd like to try some traditional Tibetan costume, you can actually do so by going to some specific places with the costume, and they offer the studio shooting services, so you can get your own Tibetan costume experience as much as you wish and have some beautiful photos as well. 你好，中国朋友们 from our friend in Cambodia. You're from Cambodia. Hello to you too. Very happy to have you here. We have oh, yes, the 闭源 question we've already answered. Let's see what are some other questions. We have Nimas from Algeria saying, very beautiful place. Thank you so much. Oh, I am actually showered with lovely messages. Thank you guys so much. For example, looking so beautiful. Today's beautiful traditional dress. Cultural dress, traditional dress, very, very nice. And beautiful view from Mohib. Yes, here in Norbulingka, the reason that people would love to come here is not just because it has a religious, let's say, background, but actually because it's very beautiful with all these different kinds of plantations and flowers, as well as trees, built by the workers here in Norbulingka, and they are making this place even more beautiful. We have Caroline saying, greetings from Ireland. Prayers, please. Thank you. Lo Zixin saying, 从拉萨如何去到罗布林卡? How to come to Norbulingka when you are already in Lhasa? Well, it's not that hard. Norbulingka is really close to Potala Palace, and it sits in the southwest area, well, actually the west part of Lhasa. You can just jump on a taxi and say you want to pay a visit to Norbulingka. I'm pretty sure they would be able to take you here. In the meanwhile, I'm saying up so high. Yes, I agree. This place just has an altitude of around 3,650 meters above sea level. It's really up high here, but the flowers are still booming so prosperously. Very beautiful. Amazing view, outstanding arts. I agree. And Giovanni saying all the flowers are nice there. Very beautiful view. And also have nice palace. Yes, Norbulingka is now a garden, and it includes several, I think the major parts would be 5 different palaces. 5 different palaces all consist of 3 parts. We talked about the palace itself, the area in front of it, as well as the little forest behind it. And in fact, nowadays Norbulingka are at the final stage of their renovation already, the gilding as well as the retouch upon the palaces here in Norbulingka is making this place even more better preserved here in Lhasa. I think it will make it a better place for people to enjoy their lives as well. And nowadays, since a lot of people are doing research on preserving the beauty of cultural relics of historical sites, they are, with the help of high technology, doing a really good job. For example, we have a 3D scanning process here in Norbulingka nowadays, scanning all the cultural relics, the architectures, as well as the establishment inside all the palaces, so that a digital footprint would be left, a digital record would be left, in order for people in future generations to experience as well as appreciate the beauty of this lovely palace. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. We are going to shout out to Giovanni saying, Niuniu, you're so lucky. We're now in lockdown again in Melbourne. Yeah, I understand that. And actually, China has been experiencing a little bit resurge ourselves. That's why many places are stopped, open to business, are closed to the public, and you can see people are wearing masks, being very cautious. And in order for me to see that, to see you guys, or for you to see my entire outfit, I'm not wearing a mask, but all my staff, all my colleagues, all the teams with me, they are wearing masks. Are keeping a distance to other people. After all, for us, we all believe that a little bit inconvenience in our daily lives in exchange for thousands of lives, that is the deal, that is the math we'd like to do here in China. And Mukadar saying, we're watching you together. My mother, 85 years old, she loves you. Oh, thank you. That is unbelievably touching. That's so sweet. And do you know, here in Tibet, actually, if you're over the age of 80, your family member would manufacture a specific kind of clothes for you. It will consist the patterns of the sun as well as the moon, and they sometimes would even make a little bit of the number of your age as an embroidery on the clothes in a way to, celebrate the longevity. So very best longevity to your mother, the 85-year-old lady who's watching me. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And Giovanni saying your hair is fetching, like how you have the colored threads in your braids. Yes, I've got my hair specifically made, specifically braided for me by some makeup artists, and I agree, they are magnificent. I feel like I'm blending here really well because of my special braids. Some other little fun facts for you to enjoy here in Tibet. They are using more paper notes than coins because on their paper notes there will be the Tibetan language written on it, whereas they don't really have their factory manufacturing coins, so they cannot really do that, and that's why they do not like to use themselves. And let's see what are some other questions here. Partha saying very beautiful presentation, amazing to view from your eyes. Thank you. That's what we do in our live streams. We'd like to take you to different places and share you with the knowledge we have, the history as well as the culture side of it, so that you would be able to have a little bit of digital tour in perhaps your lockdown or in this time and age when traveling would be not that convenient. Here we are in Norbulingka, one of the most beautiful, most well-preserved and biggest man-made park here in Lhasa in Tibet. And this also used to be the summer palace of the Dalai Lamas, when the winter palace was the Potala palace, Potala, and this is Norbulingka. In a very few days, there will be the Shoton festival, 雪顿节马上就要到了. Even though we cannot really celebrate it the way we used to, with people gathered together, enjoy the view, enjoy the yogurt as much as they want, we can still celebrate it, and we can still celebrate the culture here in Tibet. And I am not the only one of the member of our team doing live streams here. Actually, I think another team of ours, the second group of ours, is just over there. If you can still see their background plate of the 坐火车看西藏 railway trip in Tibetan-style over there, and they are doing a little bit of photo shooting over there as well. They are also wearing their traditional costume. Let's see if I can give them a shout out. Heyang, we're here. Give them a shout out. Go over there, there. Hi! We're also wearing traditional Tibetan costume. All right, so I will join them a bit later. And if you like their show, if you like Roundtable, make sure you go onto all the platforms I mentioned earlier, because not only will you be able to enjoy this amazing podcast that you like and appreciate every day and accompanying you every day, you can also see the faces of your beloved hosts and see the live streams of their shows here in Tibet as well. And that is about it for our live streams today. Thank you guys so much for spending this lovely 1 hour with us in this unbelievably beautiful park here in Tibet. Special thanks to all the staff members here for making it happen, for making this possible for us to travel around this beautiful park in the very last day of their opening. Well, it's not the very last day, because after around 7 days, they will reopen to the public, but we will no longer be here in Lhasa. And yes, for the future, the next 7 days, you can still stay with us, enjoy all the interesting videos, live streams, as well as pictures we are about to bring you. Hope you like what you see. If you like it, make sure you watch the live stream, like, share, and comment as much as possible. You can always leave a question there. I will try to answer it as soon as possible, and I will see you next time in another live stream. Thank you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.